Welcome to the podcast, man. This is Big Reptile Talk, and today we hanging out with Big Antoine from High Desert Pythons. How you doing today, brother?
What's up, big dog? How you doing?
Man, not too bad. Excited to have you here, man. So we're gonna dive right into it, man. Can you tell me about the name High Desert Pythons? How did you come up with that?
I came up with that because when I was trying to think of a business name, I had zero originality in my brain at all. So I don't know why. I think I spent that on everything else I've been doing. But the region I'm in California it's called the High Desert. So it was just kind of that easy, you know. So, but what I didn't think about is if I decided to do something outside of Pythons or if I left the High Desert, would that work? But I was just like, whatever. Yeah, we got it.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, well, I feel like you one of the dopest up and coming breeders out there, man. So we got to kind of pick your brain a little bit. So talk to me like I'm a new breeder. What's some of the best starter snakes for a breeder that's just getting into breeding?
I think as far as ball pythons go, man, just investing into different recessive projects up front, you know. So get you some hopefully if you get some multi-gene codon recessive males to bring to some like just when you're on a budget, just getting some recessive males and put into a bunch of females starting off and making you some powerful, like multifaceted heads to kind of keep you going as far as like developing and improving on your breeding program. Because you know, I still see a lot of people, you know, they still buy stuff they like, and then once they get to the point of just like trying to take it serious as like a serious breeder for profit, all of a sudden, all the stuff that they liked a couple of years ago, all that stuff is up for sale now. You know what I mean? So you got to kind of have a combination of the two. So stuff that you like, but actually have projects that you can have some longevity in, you know? So yeah, that's my biggest thing, man. Just start with projects like that you can always build on top of, you know? So because anything with recessives in it, especially like your higher end stuff, like your clowns, your ultra males and things like your desert ghost stuff, like the value of those, it's going to take a long time for those to fade, especially when new genes get introduced into them. Then all of a sudden, boom, the price goes back up again. So, I mean, it's definitely doing it that way, man. You have you have some fun with this thing and possibly make some money.
Right. Now, if I was just getting into the game, do you think it's better to start with a male or female powerhouse first?
Oh, well, if I could start over, I would have bought all of my females first. It's just because, you know, just because it takes, you know, it takes longer to for them to grow up to be able to breed. And also, a lot of times, man, you can find males a lot easier to obtain than females. So if you get that difficult female that you want to put a bunch of combos in for a good project, raise those up, take a little bit of time, and then later on get a male. Because like the biggest issue when I see people with breeding projects is like they'll buy a bunch of males first just because they were cheaper and then try to raise up females. But then, you know, by the time that female's old enough to go, then you got these males that's maybe the values increase dramatically on them, or you kind of skim down on the price of the females too, you know what I mean? So the market changes a lot within like 2 years. So I say when you have about a year left for the female to go, then get you a male and then help build it up so that way, you know, they can meet each other in the middle around the same age of sexual maturity. So
Right now. All right, now I got a hot seat question for you, man. So,
I think we just started.
yeah, I got them spread out through the show, man. I got them spread out through the show.
We coming in hot.
Now, I'm gonna start and tell you first. Like, so some of the people that I look up to in the podcast game, you know, of course, MJ. You know, that's one of my favorite podcasts. I love the Iron Animal Show too. But MJ, if he ever see this, man, I want you to know, man, you inspire me. But I'm coming for you, brother, and I mean that in a friendly, competitive way. So the hot seat question is there somebody in the game that High Desert Pythons is coming for?
Who do you consider is at the top?
At the top, JKR.
Who do you think is it? Who? Okay, you give me your top three.
My top three in the breeding game. Let's see.
Yeah, but specifically ball pythons.
JKR, Ozzy, and I like Boss to You.
Coming for all of them, bro. That's just that's just okay. I have the type of mentality. I don't do anything just to be the middle of the pack or just to be atmosphere or be an extra in the movie in the background. I'm always gonna move up to be the star. So I know if you follow MMA, like a long time ago, you heard Conor McGregor say, "We're not here to take part, we're here to take over." That's the mentality I have. You know what I mean? I got respect for all of those guys. Like I watch, Gavin from Balls to You, like Ozzy. I watch all of his stuff. I'm in Justin's Patreon. I'm learning all the time too. But I did not get into this industry just to be a middle pack guy or afterthought later. I don't want 10 years from now to be like, hey man, that's a Python guy. He made like 2 cool snakes in the past decade. Hell no, man. When you 10 years from now, you're like, yo, bro, he hit the 6 gene recessive. It was crazy and stuff, man. And then he just, walked off into the sunset, watched the sunrise like Thanos and shit, So that's the goal, man. Like I don't do anything just to kind of hang out and just, I was happy to be there. I've never had the mentality of a guy that was just happy to be in the company of those guys. Like everything I do as far as mixed martial arts, my real career, all of my hobbies, I'm always there to work to be the top dog. But I also know that takes work, paying attention, learning from people, shutting your mouth when you're supposed to, learning from other people's mistakes, and actually like seeking out mentors and getting under other people's wing, having big homies in the game. The same way I have a lot of people that, I mentor and talk to and help out too. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
And excuse me, that's my biggest, and that's one of the biggest changes in the past couple of years in this generation right now, as far as like social media and podcasts and lives. I love this so much because, like, a decade ago, 15 years ago, everything was so like clandestine. Like you ask a question, you would get 15 different responses, like because people want to throw you off. You know what I'm saying? So, like the information is out there so much, and yeah, there's a bunch of different ways to do things, but there's a lot of wrong ways too. So learn from people's mistakes, and that's like the biggest thing, man. I like to preach to people, like just like when you're raising your kids up, you want your kids to not make the same mistakes you did. But most kids go, I'm grown, I can do what I want, and then they fuck up the same way. So everybody, like, I don't like doing stuff the hard way. Like I've been there, like I've had failed clutches, I've had breeder males that die, I've had females that didn't go for whatever reason. I've had, back in the days, I didn't know much about thermostats. I've had like racks on dimmers where I end up like frying and killing snakes and stuff, man. I've made every mistake you could possibly make in this, So now that I have everything locked in, and the last 2, 3, 4 seasons have worked the way I wanted them to, man, I'm just, I love sharing what I did wrong with everybody else.
Right. Now, with you being a breeder in the game, just like Kurtwood said, man, you're a heavy hitter, man. Shout out to Kurtwood. You being a heavy hitter in the game, man. I want to know, because some people are scared to follow their dream, and because they don't know that feeling. So I guess the question I want to ask is, do you remember that first sale you made, and how did it make you feel? Like, hey, I just made my first sale. I'm following my dream.
Let me see. The first time I made a legit sale was someone like that I didn't know personally, that someone found me on the internet. I think it was literally just like a single gene fire male. Like that was it. Nobody's asked me that before, but I'm pretty sure it was a single gene fire male. And man, I was like, okay, now we getting somewhere, because my biggest hang up was there's so many breeders out there. And let's be honest, a lot of people sell the same crap. You go on Morph Market right now and you click visual clowns, there's probably 1,300 clown combos on there. But the fact that person decided to seek me out, and I gave him the same price, fair market value, I didn't have to like super undercut anybody to get that sale. That made me think, okay, my picture was good to go on it was like 400 classifieds or something like that. So the picture was good, the description was good. I answered all his questions right away, good customer service, boom. So whenever I do a sale and do things like that, I think of like the McDonald's, the McDonald's like whole system where they sell things. So when I was 14, 15, I worked at McDonald's, right? And they always told us that when you sell somebody a hamburger, I'm about to date myself how old I am right now. Those hamburgers used to be 59 cents, right? 49, 59 cents back then. So they always told us, when you sell somebody that 49, 59 cent hamburger, you're not selling that hamburger. You're selling them a product that they're going to come back to for the rest of their life, So that's why every time you go up there and you put on that uniform or you make that smile on your face and you hand them over their food, you want the whole thing to be an experience and not to have like buyer's remorse. So I never want to make a sell with somebody where they get my animal in, they do an unboxing and look at it, and they go like this. You know, like, because we've all done it. How many animals you bought where you dealt with somebody and like it was something you really, really wanted, so you dealt with the person just because it fit into your project, right? I've done it plenty of times. I bought stuff for people, you know, years ago that I despised because they only had the animal available that I was looking for, and I needed to get it for my project to work. And afterwards, man, I'm like, dude, the presentation was crappy, the customer service, he acted like he couldn't be bothered. Okay, I'll sell it to you if you be quiet about it, stop messaging me. You know what I mean? It's just like, I never want to be a drain on somebody like that, you know? So that very first sale was important to me because I made sure I kept that same level of communication and customer service all the time. So like, you follow stand-up comedy, Andy?
Oh, of course.
You know who, Bert Kreischer?
I've heard of him.
So he says he's the guy that does his stand-up comedy with no shirt on and his belly's out. And he has a story about the machine where his college class, like him and the Russian mafia mobbed his class. So he said about his show, he said every show he does, even if it's the same city for 10 nights in a row, he has the same level of energy, enthusiasm as show 1, as show 10, because there's always going to be somebody in the crowd that never heard of him, whose boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife brought them to the show to get out of the house, and they're experiencing him for the very first time. So every time you deal with somebody, you need to have that same kind of mentality. You need to make sure that if they never heard you, never knew who you were, when they get the ammo from you, or they talk to you on the phone, or you message them back, they're like, man, that's a fucking hell of a dude, man. I'm coming back and spend some more money with him, you know? So, and that same guy that probably bought that at the time, maybe $200 fire mail. I'm also dating this because it's a $200 mail baby fire, you know, later on, like he still buys stuff from me. So like last year he bought some pie combo stuff with me. And this year he bought a hurricane clown from me already. And they ain't even hatched. She's put a deposit on it yet. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just that customer get back, man, that's always going to, you know, that $100 hopefully turns into tens of thousands of dollars throughout the year. So it's pretty dope.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Now,
I'm just like rambling, my bad.
hey, no worries, man. I appreciate you here giving us game. I appreciate that, man. And I hit you with that DJ Khaled voice. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. You know, so now I want to get some knowledge, man. You teach me. So shout out to Miguel from Always Evolving Pythons. He did my podcast, and he shipped me a free ball python after that. Now, I always get people's opinion. My ball python is a spot nose, yellow belly, 100% hat clown ball python. I want to get your opinion. What's something good that you would pair it with?
It's a male or female?
Male.
Male, spot nose, yellow belly, 100% hat clown. I like putting the darker genes into things like that too. So if you got some mahogany stuff coming down the pipe, put that in there because spot nose mahogany clowns are cool. All of my ball python like clown stuff is going around the hurricane clown. That's gonna be the basis for everything. So like I got pretty much new names for hurricane clown combos that I'm gonna share out there when they come together too. So spot nose hurricane, spot nose mahogany. Obviously throwing the red stripe in there to break the pattern up and make it look. So I mean, you got so many options, man. So just depending on what you got in your and honestly, man, also too, just for some other just to produce some females, you can put them to some single gene clowns or some head clowns too, and raise up some female spot nose yellow belly clowns. So now you got some powerful stuff, you know. So yeah, I say, yep, go ahead and put some darker stuff to it too, like hurricane or mahogany. I'm gonna start with that. So because I got some crazy stuff coming with those. So you guys in the comments, I'm giving you, this is your clue right now, what I got going on.
All right. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Now, hot seat question number 2. Mm-hmm. You a heavy hitter in the game, and you know a lot of other heavy hitters. So I got to ask this, man, who right now is Antoine's favorite breeder in the game?
All right. Yeah, I got one too. So this is funny because we live in the same state. We live like an hour and a half from each other. We've never met, and I have no idea what he looks like.
You're lying. That sounds like Miguel.
He's like Dr. Claude, Inspector Gadget, man. It's Sterling Nelson, man. Like I think he's probably top 5, probably like one of the best ball python breeders. But like with consistency over the years, man, he's always making some crazy stuff. And I think he world's first my snake of the year last year, which was a super pastel, super groundable clown. So if you guys look that up, man, there were some made this year too, but I'm pretty sure Sterling Nelson did it first. And yeah, that's probably my favorite breeder, man. He consistently makes some cool stuff, man. And I mean, all I know, Sterling Nelson could just be like a big computer tower that's that's some robot that's putting snakes together. I don't know, man. It's so crazy to me, but I like that mystery about him, because I'm Facebook friends with him. There are no pictures on his Facebook of his face at all. It's just snakes and like outside scenery and shit. So Sterling Nelson is my favorite, man.
1 second, I apologize. You know what? That was a trick question, man, because a lot of us, it's hard to name, our favorite breeders, because there's so many amazing ones in the hobby. But that's I'm gonna have to check him out, man. I'm definitely gonna have to check him out. No problem, honey. I was just texting on my Apple Watch. Thank God for Apple Watch. She can call me. I can shoot the text through here. She's like, "Oh my God, I forgot. I'm sorry." No problem.
Nice.
All right, now to me, the ball python game is like the stock market, and what I mean by that is it goes up and down. Prices fluctuate. So give us some game, man, on what are some of those morphs that we need to stay away from? Because last year was 5,000, this year is 800. What are some of those morphs that we need to?
I can't say that because first of all, if I did name a gene, everyone who's caping for that gene will come from my head. like I said on the podcast like a week ago that I didn't like Hidden Gene Woma. And then like all the Hidden Gene Woma Avengers fucking came banging out my door with their fucking torches and stuff, So I mean, it's a personal preference, but honestly, dude, all of those genes that we barely talk about now, every year one of those genes get picked up and put into some single recessive or double recessive and some kind of combo, and it makes some amazing thing, man. Dude, prior to 2017, nobody was checking for red stripe. Prior to the magma in the Pompeii project coming up, nobody paid attention to the red stripe at all. It was an afterthought. It was okay. This is rusty red snake. We can't do nothing else with it until Justin came in and put a little Justin little seasoning on it. You know what I'm saying? Then that was cool. So I mean that shit, black pastel the same year. After that 2 years when he finally revealed that black pastel was the other gene in it, I had an adult female black pastel, this single gene black pastel. I paid like $100 for a couple years before that. Got some clutches out of her. As soon as that thing revealed that she was black pastel, it was the last gene. I was putting her for sale anyway. I literally locked a single gene clown to her, took a picture, put it up for sale. $800 gone within an hour.
Damn.
So to me, there's no such. So the genes that everyone are forgetting about, there's always something you can add to it to make it pretty dope.
Right.
So I mean, there's no answer to that because like you can resurrect some genes, man. Even the stuff I don't like. Honestly, I've seen like ever since I said I don't like Hidden Gene Woma, I've seen some Hidden Gene Woma stuff I actually care about now. But I'm still it's just so many other genes out there, man,
Right now, you know what? This is my channel, so I don't care. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna tell you the gene I don't. Whoever don't like it, fuck them. I'm gonna tell you the gene I don't like, and this used to be because I ain't really been in the game that long. I'm still learning about genes and morphs and all that. But my favorite morph used to be the Xanic morph, but somebody brung me down because they was like, when it grows up, it browns out, and I was like, well, shit, it don't stay white and black forever. They was like, nah, when it gets older, it'll brown out unless you just got a really high quality snake. And I was pissed.
But you can also do stuff with that to keep it funky. So when you put, shameless plug, axanthic to clown pies and things like that, I got triple X coming, So those axanthic clown pies, I've seen, some axanthic clowns, axanthic pies that still look good as adults, But when you add DG/enhancer to it, you make some monsters too. So the very next year, I'll put it to my enhancer head clown pie set G stripes. I can make some possible quadruple heads. So And so if I get me some, examples, they will stay black and white a lot longer when you have that double visual. So there's always ways to improve on it, and Desert Go slash answer is the way to keep it like that. So if you love that project, slap a little DG sauce on it, man, and you'll be straight. Yep.
Right.
Put some
Now,
hypo
if
DG into it.
yeah. Now, if it stay white and black, I'm fooling with it. I'm fooling with it. What's up, Flex and
Yep.
Pythons, man? Now with you being a breeder in the game, do you feel like in order for you to be successful, do you purchase your own rats, or do you feel like to be successful and make a profit, you have to breed your own rats? That's a mandatory in the game.
So honestly, if I didn't have a guy who delivered my rats every week, I would 100% be breeding my own rats. So I'm at a weird part in the desert where I have 3 or 4 like big rodent breeders that are all competing for my business. So like if I put in the order and I need this, and this every week. Like last year, I spent like $7,000 on rats or something like that, right? So it was like, so I'll put out my order, and if they can't fill it, I go to the next guy, and I know, and each one of them have their own, their pros and cons. But Maury out here, he's my main guy. So like maybe 90% of the time, he's coming to my house, and with him being an hour some change away, he only charged me $30 for gas, even with the gas price hike go up. So I can't beat that. So for me to go pick it up from the other guy, it cost me more than $30 in gas. So so yeah, if I didn't have the delivery system, that 100 miles back and forth would have been tiring, bro, and I just would have got it done.
Right. Now, this is a hot seat question, and you got to get it right, man, because if not, we shutting the interview down. Now,
all right, man.
Now, Xbox or PlayStation? Is that PS5? I'm jealous, man. I'm jealous. They say I was just telling my lady last night, because she said, why you don't play the game no more? You always in your reptile room. I said, babe, I love my reptiles, but I don't want to play PS4 no more. I want the PS5. But all the scalpers got them all.
Yeah, I still got I got the 4 in the living room. I use that for my for HBO Max, Netflix, stuff like that. But
that's a paperweight.
Yep. So now I started back. I'm playing the Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut now. I finished the main story, and I'm going back and doing all the side missions. Like, yeah, I'm a big gamer, man. I don't know if you saw my last couple podcasts I've been on, but it's like 3 generations of gamers between my dad, myself, and my son. My dad's 60 years old and still plays games. He has a PS4, and he still plays.
Like, tell him to throw it away and get the PS5.
Yeah, he said he refuses to pay that extra money for it and stuff too. I told him to do my raffle a couple months back, and he didn't want to do it. So I mean, I wouldn't let him, because I can't have family friends in these raffles, man. People get mad when you do these mini raffles and you wear some breeder's T-shirt and they win, and they think it's a conspiracy. So
right. L Harper Reptiles, man, you like Xbox? Get off my channel right now. No, I'm kidding, brother. I'm kidding. Now,
I think the Xbox people, though, if they got exclusive titles, like I was never into Halo, so I really had no reason for having the Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like Halo done nothing for me. So I got a bunch of that's gonna be a dang at 60 play.
That's my wife.
Real.
All right, now, so give us some game, man. You've been breeding for a while. You've been breeding for some years now. What do you think the best time is to start breeding your males in the season, during the season?
Well, first you got to make sure the females are ready, right? So, I mean, there's no other foolproof way to know without ultrasounding. Like, you could be palpating all you want and look at the signs and things like that, but if you're trying to do this for profit and make money off, I don't care if you have 2 breeder females. If you get an ultrasound, you have a better odds of breeding the males the right time and getting 100% on the way you need to be. So right now you can go on Amazon, man, and like, you got to spend money to make money. So when people say ultrasounds cost too much, before the breeder circle style one, the Kykson ones came out, they were like $5,000 and $6,000 for ultrasounds. Before technology got better and things are more compact. So $1,300 on Amazon for a contact one, the one that I use, which isn't the best one, but it works perfect. So get that. ultrasound those girls, learn about follicle development and where they need to be, throughout the season, and then you're fine, man. And then as far as introducing the males, I really don't have a size where I go to. Like if I'll check them periodically, and if the hemipenes get darker, like more purpler, and I see like sperm casings or whatever, I mean, I try them out. My record smallest male to ever breed was surprisingly this year, and he was also the most expensive snake I've ever bought. Coincidence? I don't know. Yeah, so that double head sunset puzzle male at under 400 grams, I just checked him and he just had boa peens. Man, I was like, what the hell is this thing going on here? So I stuck him in with my het puzzle, and they've locked twice already, man. So I'm like, I ain't mad at that, man. I didn't think I was gonna have to do anything with him this year, but when you spend 10 grand on a breeding pair,
Right.
So yeah,
now,
so this go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead. With you being in the game, man, I've been seeing you. I've been following you. I've seen you on Always Evolving Python's channel. I've seen you doing collabs with this person, and you've been getting snakes from these people. And I can't do nothing but applaud that, because you're growing your collection to where you can start putting out some of the high end snakes, the best quality stuff out there. Now, I want you to kind of dispel the myth. And what I say about that is maybe it's just something that how I feel because I'm just getting into the game, but. I want to talk to you about, do you feel like a lot of the high-end breeders, do they have stuff that's affordable for the little guy? And what I say by that is, Ozzy, Always Evolving Pythons, Kabelka, they need the Gucci of ball pythons,
right.
You know what I mean? So I want, me being a small-time collector, I want to, Ozzy or Justin Kabelka snake, but I don't want to insult them and be like, I don't got 5,000. I got like 200. They be like, boy, you kissed my ass.
Yeah.
So I've always wondered, do they have affordable stuff for the little guy, or are you going to be spending some change?
So they will make affordable stuff because, unless you got all multi-visual genes and supers, you're going to get what I don't like calling it this, but I don't really have a better the throwaway stuff, the stuff you have to move that you're not keeping. But it will be cheaper, but it's a longer term project. So you have to decide, do you want to get something from them just because you're getting stuff from Ozzy or Justin, just say you have it, and then you slowly building these long term projects, or you getting the money up by some other means and then investing in those snakes so that way your stuff can come together faster. So that's what you got to decide. Dude, I've never bought a snake from Ozzy or Justin.
Yeah, but see, I don't mean I've
never had to.
Right?
Not yet.
I don't mean to get stuff to breed. I just mean for a small time collector. You just hey, do they have stuff where you can be like, hey, I just need some in my collection so I can say I got that JKR snake,
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I've seen Justin post stuff for $500, $600 before, but that's probably the best you get. That's the best you're gonna get the stuff too, because if he's doing a double het to double het breeding, he's gonna get some pos hets, some double 66% hets, and you can't sell those for a premium. He's got a double het dream cycle girl on there for $500 right now.
Right.
So okay, that's what they were.
What about you? Can we hit you up? Are you on Morph Market? You're on Morph Market, right?
Yeah. Yep, I got it. Okay. I have a Morph Market account, but most of my stuff is sold before. If they see it on my YouTube channel and it's for sale, it's gone by then, or before I post it on Instagram. So now it's my Patreon people see it first, then YouTube, then Instagram, and then the public. So there's a whole bunch of steps before everybody sees it. So so right. So my Patreon, I just started that, a couple of weeks ago, whatever, just because a lot of people were upset about it, which I don't understand why, but I get about 300 calls a day. 300 calls, texts, messages, Instagram. Hey, can you tell me what this morph is? Or can you tell me how to do this, how to do that, whatever? When the information, is out there, but people want to know how I do it. And I honestly don't have the time to like to talk to everybody. You know, there's no way, there's not enough time in the day where I can answer like what morph is this? Is it Orange Dream in here, or do you see Spot Nose, and things like that. So now I'm building a community now on my Patreon so I can be able to do that. You know what I mean? So so between all that, I forget what my point.
I applaud that, man. You know what? Let me tell you
So
something. Patreon, that's big business, man. And if
mhm.
people hating, whatever, because everybody that's big in the hobby got a Patreon, and if you big, so you need to have a Patreon like them too, my
Yeah,
brother.
right. And to me, are there other Patreon accounts that's going to put out more information than me? Of course, like because I'm part of them, But the main focus of my Patreon is to give those people first crack at everything else. You know what I'm saying? Well, and to get a discount too. But the people on my Patreon, if you're going to pay me $5-10 a month to see like little short videos or see my eggs and see first, I'm gonna hook you up too. You know what I mean? So like the little $10, $15, or $20 a month you spend with me, you're gonna save a lot of that when you do you know what I mean, when you do freaking buy a snake from me, and I gave you that little discount because you've been there for a while, so you know what I mean, and that's my main benefit of my Patreon. Like I'm not gonna fly to Florida, we're not gonna go to East to West Africa and hunt ball pythons in the wild shit like that. We're not doing all of that. We don't do that here. Like we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So
hey, Hot Desert Pythons, man. If I get on your Patreon, man, I need access to that phone book, man. You got the phone numbers to everybody, brother.
you can call me directly, but I get all my sources.
I need Billy number. I always impart yours. I need everybody number that's in your phone book.
No, I need the numbers in your phone book because you had Ozzy, Justin, Brian Barchek on your podcast. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm doing on this thing. When I look back at your videos, I'm like, oh, they got my little ass on this damn thing.
No, man, you big time in the game, baby. I said I got to get Antoine on my show, man. He doing some amazing stuff, man.
Hey, man, I'm just honestly, dude, I'm just I think I'm just linking up with the right people, asking the right questions, and doing right by everybody. Like as far as I know, there may be 2 people in this entire industry who don't mess with me for one reason or another. That's it. And one, he appears to be cool, but I know full well he's talking behind my back or whatever, because I've seen the screenshots. But sometimes I keep those people close to the hip too. You know what I mean? So
right.
But it's all good, man. Though, like I'm out here. Yeah, it's cool to be liked and admired and what thing, but I want to first and foremost be respected by my peers, if anything else. So if people feel like they're direct competitors with me and we're doing the same projects and we're trying to like having price wars or whatever like that, as long as that person respects my game, respects my gangster, and sees me as a viable threat, I'm cool with that. I don't have to be your friend.
Right. Well,
but whatever you saying about me, and I find out, you better say it to my face because because I'm gonna let you know. You better have that same energy when we face to face. So
he be whooping ass. Y'all better tune into that fight. He be whooping ass. Real talk.
I don't know, man.
Now, I definitely wanted to get you on here too, man, to give us some tips, man. So, can you give us what are some of your tips that you use to reduce slugs?
To reduce what?
Slugs.
Oh, so slugs. It's a bunch of reasons why you get slugs. So it could be fertility issues in the sperm count from the male, fertility issues and follicle growth and development from the female, and too low or too high temperatures too can also cause slugs. So it's a bunch of different things or a combination of those things that can produce slugs. Sometimes you get slugs if you do everything perfect. There's nothing you can do about that. But when I switched over to Ambient, that got rid of now I'm like a 99.9% viable egg thing now. So I don't know if that caused it or is a coincidence. I don't have enough test years under my belt to do it because I've only been doing Ambient for 2 full years now. But so far it works. So I'll get to my Ambient setup a little bit, okay? So here are the pros of Ambient. I don't have to worry about like my probe, my racks messing up or falling off and me killing my steaks and frying them. Okay, that's first and foremost, because that's already happened. My ARS rack, one day I came in here in the wintertime when it was in this room and it read 117, 118 across the top of it. And I killed the Dreamsicle and the double head clown pie. You know, so there's that. You don't have to worry about that. Two, you just don't like every place in your rack. If you have just one probe, the temperatures are going to be different. It's going to be like a big variation, a lot of them too. So you don't have to worry about the variation in those hot spots as well. But the good and also the bad thing about it is too, you wait longer for eggs. So most people, when you get an ovulation, it's around 50 days from ovulation you should get eggs. But with Ambient, since there's no hot spot to get to, sometimes it takes you almost 75 to 80 days to get eggs. So, and then everything also lays in the front because I had like a central heat source, like a space heater that has a thermostat on it. So all it takes is trying to go towards the front. So they always lay to the front of the tub. So if you go to my YouTube for this whole season, all 10 females have all laid to the front because of that. Another con, another con with that is your electric bill will be a little bit higher. Not significantly, but with the bigger room and have that space heat in there, it make 5-6% somewhere around like that. It's not that crazy, but I have noticed that it is a noticeable increase in my electric bill. But I rather have a little bit higher electric bill than being out somewhere thinking about my, racks frying or fucking something like that. So, and those are the biggest thing with Ambient, man. So I keep it set in the middle of the room on my thermostat for my Ambient from like 87 to 88, and right smack dab in the middle with my ceiling fan going, just still circulating the air. My lowest part of my rack gets about like 82, and the highest, the middle part, 84. So 82 to 84 works for me, and then they can also move back and forth in the front and back of the tub, or getting the water cooled down when they need to. And that's big, and that's a big enough temperature gradient so they can still thermoregulate and they eat just fine. And it's also happy medium during breeding season.
Right. That's kind of what I've been doing too in my reptile room. I've been using the space heater to bump the temperature up. Because I've been noticing with my air on now, it's a lot different than the winter. With the air on, it lowers that temperature in your reptile room. So I have to have a space heater in there, or it's just like, my temperature is just off. Flex and Python wants to know, what do you think about the pack racks?
I love the fact that you can swap out the tubs on them and stuff too. Like I've seen some of the videos and I really haven't got that much in depth into them. I saw the original prototype and I saw some videos at the show. I love that you can take that same area and upgrade with the individual tubs. I think that's a dope idea. I don't know if they have heat in them or not, but that wouldn't matter to me because I don't use heat. But I like, what's your ambient temp? How that's your Python? 82 to 84. Anywhere in that range. Yeah, so I think it's a good idea. I hope that he can keep up with the mass production when it does blow up, because I think it does have the potential to like be a real big thing. So I just hope he doesn't fall to the wayside. And Phil is a dope dude, though. I like him too. So I just hope that it's not one of these things where a lot of these rack companies, they get their money and then they start putting that money aside to fund other people's products later, like robbing Peter to pay Paul. Because that's why a lot of these rack companies go under, or they take double the time that they were supposed to, as far as like taking the order, taking your money, producing the product, and then having it to your door. So,
right. Now, before I get you out, I wanted to ask a couple more questions. A lot of people are known for those custom morphs, like Ozzy's, of course, Orange Dream. Kabelka, I learned he did the Batman and all this stuff. Like I said, I'm still learning people's morphs, and I say that to say, you being in the game, man. Are you eventually going to come out with that custom high desert morph? We're going to call it the HDP morph.
No, well, it's funny because the one does have an H. I got two projects. Well, I got three main products I'm working on. Two of them are multi-gene clown combos, the Violator and the Hellbender. And I'm also working on the Batman Ultramale project that I don't have a name for yet. So, so my biggest product is gonna be the Spot Nose Yellow Belly Ultramale clowns, and then the Hellbender project, and then the Violator project. So if you guys follow the Spawn comics, all stuff to Violator was the name of when Clown transformed into the demon and shit too, you know. And the Clown also had a couple other brothers, the Vindicator, the Viscerator, shit like that too. So it's gonna be hard, like with that theme. And this is the first time I actually talked about it in public. So I gave you guys some some insider info. So yeah.
We love it, man. We love it. So y'all make sure y'all hit him up on Morph Market Instagram. Go check out his snakes. I want one. I'm gonna be looking into it, man. Now I gotta ask this, man. So I feel like you killing it in the ball python game, man. Are you thinking about breeding anything other than ball pythons, or are you pretty much gonna stick with ball pythons right now?
No, because I want to get to the point where like I feel like I've mastered this specific animal, and I'm far from there yet. There's still some things I need to tweak as far as like where I'm at and my environment and everything like that too. So I want to make sure I get to like the master, like black belt level of ball pythons before I can confidently, before I can confidently commercially sell anything else. Because I don't like to. What I don't ever want to do is convince people to give me money for any kind of endeavor that I'm not completely confident about. Like I never taught one person any kind of martial arts or kickboxing or Muay Thai until I figured out, one, I was good at it myself. Two, I proved what I can do in competition. And also I can like talk about it and articulate it to different people's styles because everybody has a different way of learning things. So right now, if I do get into a different project, I'm gonna buy a shit ton of them, grow them up different ways, experiment what works and don't works. But as far as selling and breeding them now, just ball pythons, man. I tried with boas years ago, but I sucked at having boas. So
Right.
Yep.
Now, before you leave, man, I got to tell you a tip, man. So you see that before I even tell you this, man, you got to tell me that you're gonna be in on it. And I'm not gonna tell you unless you tell me you're gonna be in on it.
I got you, man. I've been
all right. So see, man, y'all heard that. Y'all heard that. Big Antoine is gonna help me with my plan. So my plan is, so the reptile community has had their eyes. We had eyes on us because of a lot of escaped snakes. This state got an escaped cobra. This state got an escaped rattlesnake. This snake got this. This state, everybody's losing snakes out there. So people are focusing on us. So I came up with a plan to take the eyes off the reptile community. And I need you to participate. You to participate. So every day, before you go to work or before you head out into the world, I do this. I'm in my car when I'm headed to work. Before I get to work, I see a gate has a dog in it. I just unlatch it and I get my car and drive off. See what I done is. Let's see what you do. If we get enough people to let the dogs out, the news gonna have to focus on the dog community, and it's gonna be the heat's gonna be off our ass. You in, brother?
Or we can donate to US Arc because they're the nonprofit organization that gets lawyers and help with these legislations and they help our like lawmakers make sense of all this stuff like that. And speaking of US Arc, if you guys don't know, September 17th in Arlington, myself and John Feely are going head to head in a grappling match, and we're going to raise money for US Arc. So our goal is to beat Daytona. Daytona raised $117,000 a couple of weeks ago for US Arc. So we've got sponsors on our shorts. We got a custom fight gear that we're going to auction off Saturday night at the NARBC. And on my YouTube, High Desert Pythons, you're going to watch it. It's going to be 8 p.m. The 17th. So all the super chats from there will go directly to US Arc. So we're going to make sure. So by ourselves, I want to raise at least $50,000 for US Arc, man, because they do so much for our community. Every time there's some lawmaker wanting to ban stuff or ban sales from New York for animals or ban tegus or ban lizards, they got lawyers that those lawyers cost over $900 an hour to get them out there and start working on all this stuff and going to court and lobbying and things like that, man. So US Arc is a big deal. So that's why I'm a silver member of US Arc, and 10% of all of my snake sales get donated to US Arc as well.
Right. So, man, y'all better check that fight out. I know I'm going to check it out. I'm going to be supporting my pay. I'm so happy because I'm going to get paid before the day. So I'm supporting. Y'all go check it out, man. This dude is doing some amazing stuff for the community. Even if you don't want to participate in my plan, which, I feel like if 1,000 people unlock just one gate, and it's 1,000 loose dogs, they won't focus on us no more.
Dude, there's gonna be a big article that says who let the dogs out.
All right, now, man, you're hilarious, bro. I love it. I love it. Now, I like to keep my podcast about 30 to 45 minutes. It was an amazing podcast. I got one more question before you go, man.
Yep.
Now, this has been brought to my attention. He said, "You Sark, man, you whack." There you go. That's what he's fighting right there.
Man.
Now, it has been brought to my attention that in order, now you got to clear this up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to clear this up. Now, it's been brought to my attention if you want to get a High Desert Pythons shirt that is like the Hunger Games, you got to fight to the death, and the last one gets the shirt. Is this true?
No, not at all, man. A lot of people, dude, I do better on shirts than I do snake sales, man, which is crazy. But if you with me, if you spend over $500, I throw a shirt in all the time. So that's like a thing with me. Everybody gets stickers and shirts. You spend over $500 with me, you get a free shirt in your package. If you spend over $1,000, you get a special card that invites you to the compound in the event of the zombie apocalypse. So we got attack dogs here. You get your own gun. You get secure fencing and stuff too. So you'll be straight. So you get that golden ticket. But yeah, so if anybody wants a High Desert Python t-shirt, every podcast that I'm on gets a shirt. I send them one. So just send me your info. I'm getting some made today, actually. So I just put in the order. So message me your size. I'll send one to you. Yeah, I owe a couple of people some shirts out here, dog. Yeah, my dog just busted the room and stuff.
Y'all heard that. I'm sending this man my
I want to go. Hey, boy.
He said, Daddy, don't let me out.
But yeah, just message me if you guys want a shirt. They're $35 shipped or whatever. I got V-cut women's shirts. I got unisex men's shirts, and they're next level brand too. So it's a real soft kind that moves around and not all like hard paperback stuff, So, but yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on, man. And then honestly, dude, I'm super honored to be here. Like I said, going through like the list of people you had on, I was kind of intimidated, man. I'm like, man, who's this fucking dude? But I had a good time, man. I appreciate you letting me run my mouth because I can do this shit forever. So, thanks.
Hey man. First off, thank you for coming on, man. It was an amazing podcast. Mm-hmm. We had fun. Y'all heard it first. I'm sending him my address because I need to flex that shirt in my next interview. I'm sending him my address. He's doing amazing stuff in the community. I'm hoping that I can get you again in the future down the road. Mm-hmm. We'll do a round 2, man, and just see what you're up to, man.
Yep. Hell yeah, I'm down.
All right, this is Big Reptile Talk, and we out of here, man. I'm gonna take us to the background and tell you thank you. Y'all don't go anywhere, man. We out of here. Big Reptile Talk.